Good morning everybody, welcome to the vlogs. I'm just looking down at my little furry assistant down here. Good morning Stu, my darling. He's taken my place. He slept on my sofa or my part of the sofa overnight and I don't think he wants to move this morning. Don't blame me, darling. So good morning, it is Monday the 13th of November 2023. My name's Amanda, welcome to my channel, welcome to my vlogs. Thank you to all my new subscribers. It's lovely for you to join us. I hope you've been enjoying the vlogs. And yeah, today we're back to work. Monday to Friday, I work full time. So there was definitely far less for you to see on a Monday to Friday. It is about 6:30, yeah, 25 past 6. I've just made my breakfast, I've not eaten it yet. So we had some sausages last night for tea and there were a couple of sausages left over. They were really nice. I think they were Co-op kind of best of, what do they call them in the Co-op? Irresistible. So lovely quality, nice sausages. So I have just reheated one of them and popped it into a bread roll, cob, whatever you want to call it, with some barbecue sauce. That's going to be my breakfast this morning. I'm taking with me for lunch some quiche with some coleslaw and sort of pasta salad. That'll be lunch today. And I'm not sure what we're having for dinner tonight. Husband has done a meal plan for the week. Because we were going to have the sausages tonight. We were going to have like a bacon and sausage, you know, like all day breakfast, I think. But obviously we had the sausages last night. Let me see if I wrote it down. What have we got? Oh yes, we've got prawn and lemon orzo tonight. That's dinner tonight. So yum yum. Now, last night when I went to bed, I don't think I sounded overly enthusiastic about the yarn that I dyed. That's not actually that unusual for me. When I first have dyed something, quite often I'm a little bit unsure. It may not have come out exactly how I imagined it, because in the pan sometimes things look quite different. I come downstairs this morning and looked at it on the drying rack and it's lovely, it's gorgeous. I took a tiny bit of video. It's not in its proper light, so it's hard to, you know, it's under artificial light, but you can see the difference between the plain and the sparkly. And I'm pretty confident now that the mini is going to look really lovely with it too. So when I get home this evening, that should be dry properly. And if it is, I will wind it into skeins. I'll take some photos of it, hopefully, if obviously it won't be daylight when I get home either, but hopefully I'll manage to take some photos that show it quite well. We'll see. That can be difficult when you haven't got natural lighting, but we'll see if we can get some good photos of it so that we can get it labelled, skeined up and in the shop. So yeah, really pleased with that this morning. Come downstairs this morning, and that's quite normal for me, that sometimes when it's still drying I'm kind of like, do I like that, don't I? And then see it when it's dry or see it 24 hours later and go, oh yeah, no, that's come out really nicely. So that's what I've done with that this morning. Yeah, I think that's about it really. I got quite a lot of knitting done last night actually. So last night I watched Strictly. I hadn't watched Strictly on Saturday night because the husband and I watched a film together. No, we didn't watch a film. We watched a series together on Netflix, I think it's on. Yeah, it could be Netflix, it could be Apple TV, and it's Fall of the House of Usher. We started watching it, it's a series, and we started watching it a couple of weeks ago before Halloween. Watched the first 2 episodes. It's pretty gory, it's quite grim, but I think it's very good. And it's The Fall of the House of Usher. It's not actually the original story by Edgar Allan Poe, but it's based on ideas and characters from Edgar Allan Poe. So Edgar Allan Poe is an American writer, if you don't know, and he wrote a lot of gothic, very dark gothic short stories, and very famously a poem called The Raven. He's probably best well known, certainly I know him best for a short story called The Telltale Heart, which I do teach to students, and it's a brilliant story. very short story, only a few pages long. And he's also probably best known for a poem that he wrote called The Raven. So it's quite, and I do know the story, that Fall of the House of Usher. Well, I don't know the story, I read it many years ago, which is another short story I remember from getting from the library when I was a teenager, a book of his short stories, and I think I read most of them. But I do remember the Fall of the House of Usher, because again, that's one of his famous ones. So anyway, yes, we watched that Saturday night. So because I watched that with my husband Saturday night, I didn't watch Strictly. So last night, before I watched the results show, I watched the whole of the Saturday night Strictly show as well. And if you're a US viewer or not a UK viewer, because actually I've got some from Australia as well, and some in Greece, then Strictly Come Dancing is our version of Dancing with the Stars. Very, very popular over here. So yeah, so I watched that last night, got quite a bit of knitting done, made more progress on the cabled vest, and started working again on the teddy bear dress. So I'll show you those later tonight. Okay, see you later. Bye. Hi, good evening, welcome back. It is about 5 o'clock, yeah, 5 to 5. I've just got home, not been home very long, and I just thought I would pop on and show you the finished product from the dyeing yesterday. So things I like about this yarn. I love the speckling, actually, really like the way the speckling's come out. I'm liking the muted colours, the subtleties of it, but I'm going to be honest and say the grey hasn't shown up as much as I would have liked. So it's really difficult sometimes when you're dyeing to know how strong the colours are going to come through. And this looked greyer in the pan, and it's actually dried, not showing the grey as much as I'd like. Anyway, here is the colourway on the 85% merino, 15% nylon. And you can see we've got speckles of kind of red, pinks and purples. That's what I mean about more of the bluey purple. It needs obviously winding. It's pretty much dry, but I will still leave it overnight. I won't wind them tonight. I'll still leave them on the rack just for another 24 hours and probably wind them tomorrow. I'll take off some of the ties when I wind them, but just to give you an idea, let's wind this one and I'll show you the sparkle one as well. So the name for this colourway is going to be Frosted Berries. And as I say, it's difficult to see because we're not in natural light actually, and just as I'm twisting this, I am seeing some of the greys showing up a bit more, and it will be interesting to see in natural light whether the grey shows a little bit better. So here we go, here it is skeined up. You can see there, as I say, some of the purples came through with a more of a blue undertone. Now the minis that I did with it are this. So a tonal purple, pinky purple. So let's just wind that. And I do actually think they go together really prettily. So I'm going to be putting these in the shop as sock sets. So that's, there we go. Maybe hold it together like, trying to hold it so you can see. You can't see the speckles as well on camera as they're actually showing here. And yeah, actually it definitely does look a lot grayer now that I'm looking at it in this light. So yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it, with artificial lighting, cameras, things look different. Right, this is it on the sparkle base. So I think that's beautiful. The sparkle would definitely be my choice. So again, it needs a lot of the threads removing. But let's just twist it up. And I do think the grayer comes through, but then the grayer always comes through stronger on a sparkle base. The sparkle base always, because of the stellina in it, the colourways do always come out just slightly different on the sparkle base compared to the non-sparkly. Yeah, so it's going to need a lot of tidying up still. So there we go on the sparkle base. So the minis aren't sparkly, but oh, so pretty. I really love this. I am definitely going to be keeping one of the sparkle ones for me, and I think I'm already thinking this is going to be my Christmas Eve cast on. A pair of socks in beautiful sparkly yarn. So that's the Frosted Berries colourway. So the winner of the competition was Kelly, actually, Kelly Menzies. I think she just knows me so well, knows I love pinks and purples. So, you know, she was onto a winner in respect of it was likely to be shortlisted. So yes, but the three different ones that I shortlisted were from three very different people. So Kelly, though, was the winner of the picture, and therefore she will be getting one of those sock sets. She just needs to let me know whether she wants the sparkle base or the merino, and then the 85% luxury base, and then I'll know how many I can put into the Etsy shop of the others, and then they will be up for sale. So a massive thank you to everybody who helped me by sending in pictures of inspiration. A few questions I had as well, actually. Somebody was asking about white. I think they might have put it on the YouTube comments. Can you dye white? No, you can't. The closest to white you get is just the undyed yarn. But it is interesting because I think sometimes, depending on the other colours you've put in, any bits that are left undyed sometimes look whiter depending on the other colours that you've used. But no, it's not actually possible to dye white. I was looking it up actually afterwards because I wonder if you can bleach it, but I think it talks about you can use some kind of special UV paint or UV dye, but yeah, so it's sounds like quite a complicated process. So no, you can't dye white on yarn in this way. Not with your standard chemical dyes or your standard, not with your standard acid dyes or your standard botanical dyes. But yeah, I think sometimes it does look like there are white patches, but they're not really white. So that's why I didn't pick any pictures that had a lot of white. So some of the pictures that were sent were lovely snow scenes, but if they were very, very white snow scenes, I knew that I wouldn't really be able to recreate that. So I picked out scenes which had got colours that I knew I'd be able to produce. What other questions did I have? I think that might have been it, actually. Oh, somebody asked about the dryer. Yes, I have a spin dryer. So it's an old-fashioned, I just got mine second-hand from somewhere like Facebook Marketplace, actually. So it's worth, if you're interested in getting a spin dryer, it is worth just checking out your second-hand, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, that kind of place for one, and you should be able to get one relatively cheaply, because to buy them new, they're still quite expensive. Obviously, just be careful if you're buying something second-hand. If it's electrical, test it out and make sure that you're being sensible with that. Also, if you put yarn into a spin dryer to dry it, put it into a pillowcase or a tote bag first, something like that, so that the threads of yarn themselves aren't going to get caught inside it. So I've got a spin dryer that I keep in the garage, and it's just brilliant. It was a game changer. I got that quite early on when I first started dyeing, actually. I think I started dyeing in the April of 2020, and I think I bought it in the autumn of 2020, and it just makes such a difference onto how quickly the yarn dries, especially if you're dyeing huge amounts at one time. I don't tend to dye very large amounts at one time. I think the most I've ever dyed in one day is about 30 or 40 skeins in one day, might be about the most I've done. And then it takes quite a while to put it all on the drying rack. I have got one of those kind of heated areas that people get from Lakeland, that type of place. I've got one of those, which is really useful as well, but we had that already. So yeah, so that's the Frosted Berries colourway. I hope you like it. And as I say, I think they would make, just keep looking at the sparkly one, I think it would make a lovely Christmas cast on, but I'm biased. So I'm just having a play around because that's not terribly well skeined at the moment, but you get the idea. So pretty. All right, I'll see you later. Bye for now.